Welcome back to Hobby Jogger Elite. Now, you know what this video is about. You already clicked on it, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We are talking about the newest shoe to enter my rotation. I was traveling on the road for a week and essentially an opportunity to buy another new running shoe came up. So I invested in the one that I've been probably the most excited about when I see it on other people's feet, when other people are talking about it. That's of course the Asics SUPERBLAST. Just the name itself has me intrigued. I've never seen a shoe that looks quite like this and promises quite as much as Asics promises when it comes to the SUPERBLAST. This seems like a marathon runner, a marathon trainer's dream. So many different components, so many different training philosophies and benefits, all wrapped up in one massive looking shoe. Asics website claims that this is ideal for everything from longer runs to fast workout reps to recovery training and even supercharging your mind and your body. With the SUPERBLAST Turbo and the SUPERBLAST Plus dual density foam setup here with the red and the blue, as you can see in this colorway, it claims that it packs a super bouncy shoe in a super lightweight package that reaches nearly 46 millimeters of cushion in that heel. I have my long run today, and it's not exactly a long run. It's actually pretty run-of-the-mill for what I will be doing in a couple weeks here with my marathon training. It will be about 14 miles, but I want to take this thing out on that 14-mile run, see what it's made of, see what it feels like at easy pace, at steady pace, at moderate pace, maybe take it down to goal marathon pace for what I'll be running here in November when it comes to my upcoming marathon. But overall, I've just been really excited to put this shoe on and start running in it. So let's do just that. So immediately upon step and feel, I was thinking this shoe, and I don't want to overreact because I haven't even started running in it yet, but it feels like what I wanted the NovaBlast to feel like. It is more accommodating, like the toe box feels wider, it feels lighter. It is lighter, I put it on the scale. It is almost an ounce lighter than the NovaBlast in the same sizing, 9.5 size men's. I think it's in the range of like 8.5 or 8.6 ounces. And it just feels softer, taller, everything about it right now, just kind of walking around in it so far. I've heard similar gripes about the grip, the traction on wet surfaces with this shoe. Same gripes with the NovaBlast, so we'll see what this thing can do. A little short of 1.5 miles in, just managing. Nice easy effort in the heat and the early morning humidity. This feels great. It feels a lot smoother, a lot bouncier than the NovaBlast. Very easy to run easy in this, but it feels like a super shoe meant for everyday running. This is the first time I've kind of felt that energy return, that bounce that I associate with Vaporfly, Alphafly, Adios Pro 3, more on the sort of softer side of those. But it's just a lot of fun to run in. A lot of people said it needed a break-in period, but it feels amazing out of the box. I have a ton of room in the shoe, in a good way. Plenty of room to splay out. For being such a big shoe, it looks very clunky. It just does not feel that way on foot. It feels like it offers all the stability, all the structure that a bigger, clunkier shoe would without being big or clunky. It feels lightweight. And I don't know how it maintains this sort of bounce and energy return without having a plate. This combination of foams with this midsole geometry and the stack height, it just feels magical. I gotta say, just crossed the 5-mile mark of this long run. I've worked into about steady pace, somewhere between easy and marathon pace, keeping it firmly aerobic, but this shoe feels great. I would say, it might sound like a broken record, the most readily available sort of subject for comparison or juxtaposition is the NovaBlast 3 for me. Feels like every material is thinner, from the laces to the upper, a little less structured, and just not as present, I would say, for this shoe being as big as it is and having as much foam as it does with that 45.5mm heel down to I think about 35mm in the forefoot, it just kind of disappears on your foot. But there's certainly no ground feel with this shoe. It is a whole lot of midsole. I'm running on dry terrain, so I can't comment on the traction, but it's pretty much the same pattern as the Asics SUPERBLAST 3, so I would assume it's pretty much the same. Other than that, clicking away at about 720 mile pace right now. Feeling smooth, feeling good. Obviously, in this humid, muggy weather, good enough to talk to you for this long, so that's good. Just crossed the 8-mile threshold as we logged a 7:13 mile. Still feeling very smooth, very controlled. Feels like perfect long run shoe for people who want to work into steady, moderate marathon pace. Don't think I'll be going beyond marathon pace today, but feels like it could potentially be a half marathon or marathon racer for someone who doesn't want to get a plated shoe. "12 miles of progression done, just under 90 minutes. Started at about 8:20 mile pace, worked down to, I think that last mile was about 6:36, 6:37, so felt good, felt smooth in these shoes. Gonna cool down 2 miles to 14. It's very humid heat. We'll catch up, talk about some final initial thoughts back at the house. Post first run thoughts on the Asics SUPERBLAST. This shoe was an absolute blast to run in, as you could see with the splits throughout my run as I documented just a little bit ago. I should say I started at a very easy effort. When it comes to my runs, whether I'm doing a workout, warming up for a workout, doing a long run, doing my normal sort of like easy day, regular daily training miles, my first mile is always pretty slow relative to the other ones because I'm just kind of letting my body work up to and warm up to whatever I'm about to do, no matter how fast or how slow that pace is going to be. And usually I'll see that somewhere around, 840 to 9 flat mile pace, around 120 to 125 beats per minute. I found my effort level and my heart rate at that same point, but my pace was a little bit quicker towards the 820s for that very easy, pretty much recovery effort type of mile. This shoe just had me running a little bit faster while not putting in as much effort. And I found that very interesting. And that's sort of where my thought as this shoe being very super shoey. It's very super shoe-esque, without there being that sort of super shoe stiff carbon fiber plate in here. I wouldn't say that it's not stiff though. It is a rather stiff shoe, and you can see here, like, I'm putting a decent amount of force into trying to bend this shoe, and you're not seeing a ton of give there. There is certainly some stiffness to this shoe. There's a lot of structural integrity when it comes to rolling through your stride, and I think that sort of poppy toe off comes as a result of the stiffness of the midsole. But while it maintains a pretty stiff structure here, the foam is very soft. And it's definitely that bottom layer of foam there that results in that. That's why I sort of concluded that this would be a great racer for somebody not necessarily looking for a carbon fiber plated shoe. Beyond that, whether I was running 820 pace, 8 flat pace, 730 pace, 7 flat pace, down to 630 pace, I felt like this shoe was capable every step of that run. And I always felt like, despite it looking like a clunky shoe, that I could go a little bit faster. Now, I do want to say that it felt most capable, most natural at that steady to sort of like moderate down to marathon pace. So for me, this shoe felt very natural, very effortless from what I would say like 720 pace down to like 645, 650 pace. I felt like for me, for the effort level I was putting into this run with this shoe on foot, it felt like a steady to marathon pace type of shoe. And this is going to definitely be a staple when it comes to long runs, long easy runs, long steady runs, and especially long run workouts as I get into my marathon training block in just a couple weeks. When it comes to doing work at marathon pace or a little bit faster than marathon pace, or just maintaining a pace that is a little bit slower than marathon pace, this shoe gives back what you put into it, unlike some of the other shoes that look a lot like this like big beefy midsole that screams recovery shoe. This shoe can move, it can go fast. I wouldn't say you're going to be doing track repeats, I wouldn't do kilometer repeats or 800s in this shoe, trying to work down into 5K pace. I don't think it's that type of shoe, but I do think it is very versatile. This is a shoe that if you were only able to take one shoe on a vacation or a trip while you're traveling, I think this shoe fits that description really well. And I'm interested to see how it progresses beyond just this long run as I put more and more miles into it and seeing how durable it's going to be. So stick around for that. Didn't get really specific or technical with this. This is just sort of first initial thoughts on this, but there is no doubt that I'm going to be running in it more. So leave a like, subscribe, stick around for more thoughts on more shoes, especially the SUPERBLAST as we progress through the summer into the fall with some marathon training. And yeah, we'll catch up next time. Peace.